Hello and welcome to the podcast that asks the question, what can the kids watch? The Dark Crystal from 1982, directed by Jim Henson and Frank Oz.
Yeah.
I watched this a lot when I was little, but it is it's quite bleak, and I feel like I maybe, when I was a kid, favoured Labyrinth over Dark Crystal, and then Dark Crystal became more favoured as I got into like teenage years and was more into the bleakness of it. Not that Labyrinth isn't bleak, but this is uncompromisingly fucking horrible.
It is, and I don't think that I actually saw it when I was younger. This felt like it was the first time watching it all the way through. Not to say that I didn't recognise the characters, because I've seen the Gelflings a few times on Facebook.
I'm sure we've
memes.
I think we've watched this film together before, haven't we?
I must have fallen asleep.
Oh, well that's
really bad, isn't it?
Do you not like this film?
Compared to Labyrinth, I prefer Labyrinth.
Oh, you just like a song and a dance.
Oh, come on. Dance, magic dance. Come on.
Yeah, but it's
There's no songs in this.
No, thank fuck. This is so fantastically bleak, and what I admire most about it is there is a handful of real world locations, big fields, some mountain tops, but for the most part all of this is constructed
in a studio somewhere.
Yeah, Muppet sets, I'm going to call them.
Muppet sets. It was huge.
Yeah, but everything's alive.
Yeah.
They made the foliage be some kind of creature in many scenes, and there's always like insects scurrying about, or there's little lizards, or little, I suppose, ferrety type creatures. There's just everything. Everything feels like the fantasy world they want to create.
Yeah, some things felt like we're breathing.
Yeah. Yes,
the
landscape breathes, yes. That thing where a little creature just happens to toddle into what looks like a bit of an open cave, and then its mouth closes and the little creature's eating.
Yeah.
And then there's all those little sort of little balls around it, and they just start sort of pulsating, and yeah, it's brilliant. I don't know where you would start making something like the Dark Crystal.
But then it's Jim Henson, and he
knows his business.
He knows his stuff because he did the Muppets and
Sesame Street before the Muppets.
Did he do Fraggle Rock?
Yes.
Yeah, so he knows his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fair, but it's still just very, very difficult to comprehend it as a filmmaker. And at the same time, no actual actors. There's no, the Muppets are always work when they are coupled with a real life celebrity. That's always the thing with the Muppets. It's the Muppet Show with your guest Steve Martin or whatever. And then when they made the Muppet movies, they just littered them with fantastic cameos. And this is just none of that. There's nothing to hold your hand. Absolutely nothing. You just chucked into this utterly scabby, put you off your dinner, horrible, weird, dark fantasy world.
I feel like there was too many characters of the Skeksis and the Mystics. There was 10, and the character designs looked amazing for the different Skeksis because they look like giant vultures.
Less so for the Mystics, I
Mystics
think.
looked more the same.
Yeah.
But I was looking at a YouTube video earlier, and originally there was going to be 7.
Oh, for the Sins.
For the Sins. And then that just expanded. But it would have been nice to concentrate, because they were so elaborately dressed and designed, some of them kind of got lost.
Yes, but it's taken a long time for this to happen, but the Netflix series does give you that focus.
Yeah.
But also does give you a bunch of new characters as well to focus on. But the Skeksis really benefit from the embellishment that happens in the Netflix series. So the Netflix series, which I've watched it, but you haven't, and the kids haven't watched it. No. It's a prequel series.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, I don't want to say.
Okay.
because I want you to. I want you to watch it, but the important thing is it was cancelled. It was not intended to just get one series. But the good thing about a prequel series rather than a sequel series is although there's still a massive gap between series one and the movie, if you're clever enough, and I was okay, I just worked out, well, if that's the ending of that series, this, and this has to happen to get us to the film.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I'm actually really fucking mad about it. It's one of the, Netflix cancels things all the time. I remember because you and I loved Glow.
No, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Yeah, and then that was cancelled after, I think, it was 3 or 4. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 seasons, but it definitely, the last season wasn't very good. And the last episode of the last season was really not very good and had annoyed me. And I thought, well, that's fine. You'll sort it out next year. And they didn't fucking sort it out next year. It's like COVID hit, and then they just decided, we can't be arsed carrying this on. We're just going to stop it. But we're not talking about that. But yeah, it really infuriates me that the Dark Crystal series didn't get a second series, because the beautiful craftsmanship that went into making the original film and Labyrinth, imagine that. Imagine all of that and how good that looks, but then bring it into a modern context and made by a filmmaker that's so in love with the Dark Crystal film that he made it his business to just make this beautiful love letter. And I always say this all the time. It'll be the second time today I've mentioned it. There is a scene where the puppets perform a puppet show in the Dark Crystal series, and it's like mind-blowing seeing puppets performing with puppets.
I have a confession.
Go on.
I'm not a huge fan of puppets.
No, you're not?
Not really, and I do believe that stems back to a series called Terrorhawks.
A series which the children have seen. Our kids have seen Terrorhawks.
And
it's amazing.
Zelda has a lot to answer for. It's not that I don't appreciate the craft, because I do, and some of it looks amazing. It's just, I keep going back to that thing that scared me as a child.
But you're happy with Labyrinth?
I am. And
there's some fucked up things in Labyrinth.
Yes, there is. But there's also some very cute things in Labyrinth.
Yeah, but there's some very cute things in Dark Crystal.
I know, but we're not...
What's he called?
The furry thing.
Fizzgig.
Fizzgig. Well, I think he looks like a Tribble.
With a face.
With eyes and a face.
Yeah, well, Tribbles had an out. They were just a ball of fur. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, a Tribble is from Star Trek.
Geek.
I think the kids enjoyed it. In fact, they said it was excellent. But there was a lot of things they didn't get. There's a lot of spiritualism in this. And for every Skeksis, there is a mystic. And they're connected.
Yeah.
And what happens to one will happen to the other. And because everything in it's so, like, foreign and alien and unusual and, like, nothing we've got, I think there was an element of them trying to process what they were looking at. And I think it's maybe a film that they're going to have to rewatch a few times to really take on board every mad fucking thing.
Yeah.
Although, I can't even believe this is in there, but the old woman who's called Olgra, huge set of tits on her, and they included massive nipples.
Yes, I remember looking over at you laughing, and I was like, oh, that's what he's laughing at.
Well, you can't miss them. So it's like, really? You've given us some big old tits and nipples?
You're just hitting home that it's a girl.
Yeah, well, I guess. Because, you wouldn't tell by her face.
No. Does she look a bit... I thought she looked familiar to another character, maybe in Labyrinth, but...
Maybe. There's an old lass in Labyrinth that's the one that collects loads of shit. And she's got that... It's all on her backpack, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think she's a much... For the want of a better phrase, she's a much softer looking puppet. Mm-hmm. I I'd say there's no people in this, but for some of the wide shots,
They
the
must have
really
used
wide shots,
someone.
yeah, the gelflings must be children or young people because
Yeah.
they're running, they're flat out running in a fashion that's like, yeah, that's definitely not a puppet. But when it's the close up and they are the puppet, they're they're not slouching. No one's having a day off. It's incredible.
It is really good. And I'd say I'm not a huge fan of puppets, but
Do
I
you
was
think?
impressed.
Do you think the Gelflings informed the design years later for the ITV puppet series, The Riddlers? Do you remember the Riddlers?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had like sort of West Country accents.
Yeah. I do remember them. And
Well, I think
country bumpkin type
yes,
thing.
yeah, and like plaid shirts. I think whoever made the Riddlers probably looked at the Gelflings and went, "That's really good because they don't look human, but they have human elements."
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal is a real challenge of a film if you are going into it expecting the sort of thing that Jim Henson usually makes.
Yeah, it's a bit of not a backward step, a downward step in that it's a lot darker than his usual stuff.
He seemed like a very nice, kind, caring man. So out of nowhere for him to go, I'm going to make something that makes kids shit their pants.
But then it's one of them, someone made a comment that he wanted to show darkness and bad things happening so that kids could see that and
deal with
it.
Yes. So once again, he still had the children's well-being at his heart.
Yeah, if kids are just exposed to unicorns and rainbows, and it's not really going
And
to...
Kermit the Frog.
It's not going to deal... They're not going to deal with adult life very well.
No, that's true, but...
You're not going to see a Skeksis. I can't even say...
Skeksis.
I can't... Yeah. You're not going to see one of them.
What, in Sesame Street?
No.
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
But then there's a character that scares me in Sesame Street as well.
Is it Oscar the Grouch?
No. It's... He's got weird eyes. And he's... Is he an eagle? Is he something...
What? Sam Eagle?
Is it Sam Eagle? I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that later.
I think you mean Uncle Deadly. And he's
yes.
not in Sesame Street.
What is he in?
He's in the Muppets.
Oh, God. See,
Uncle Deadly? As
Yeah.
if they're going to have a character called Uncle Deadly in Sesame Street.
They might.
Well, they wouldn't. Uncle Deadly is a gay hair and... He's Miss Piggy's gay hair and makeup man.
Right, okay.
And he's always... I'm not sure how they do it, but he's got like little tentacles coming off his snout that sort of look like a tash.
What's he supposed to be?
Just a fucked up monster.
Okay.
But he's really gay.
Okay.
And he's always in making sure Miss Piggy looks her best.
Well, that's fine, but I think it's eyes.
Yeah, he's got dead set sunken eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Uncle Deadly. Mm-hmm. I like Uncle Deadly. He's one of my favourites. But I also do like Sam Eagle as well.
Yeah, sorry, Sam.
Early on in the Dark Crystal, the Emperor Skeksis, the first Emperor Skeksis, he's very ill and he's very grey and withered, and he's in his bed, his deathbed, and they're all huddled round him, trying to usurp his power before he's died. And when he dies, and he gets
Crumbles.
he gets so angry that he kind of chokes on his own anger, and then just collapses back onto the pillows, and then he crumbles into dust. And it's great that happens very early on in the film, because that is telling you, the audience, look, if we're gonna fucking pull this out of the bag in the first 5-10 minutes, you better watch yourselves, because other mad things are coming your way. The little podlings, they're stealing the life essence from the podlings, and their faces become sunk. Actually, they look like they're on Ozempic when they're finished, but their little faces get sunken in, and their eyes become more bulged and white, and they're just little zombies that walk around the Skeksis palace, just carrying their food. And the scene where the fucking Skeksis are eating is foul. Foul.
Yeah, you said this film was scabby and puts you off your food.
Yeah, but it's not just the eating; it's the whole thing. The Skeksis are disgusting. I kind of think the Mystics are a bit disgusting. Obviously, Olgra is filthy, and the landscape kind of makes me a bit sick. The idea of like you'd just be walking and suddenly the land would eat you. It just the whole thing is disgusting to me. But I do really like it.
From a filmmaking point of view,
Yes.
can we take a minute just to appreciate
The design.
the puppeteers?
Oh, the puppeteers, yeah.
Because those costumes, well,
The
puppets would have been really heavy.
Yeah, the big guard creatures look like they must have weighed a ton. Didn't I hear a thing? The Mystics, they could only stand up tall for like 10, 15 seconds because it weighed so much.
Yeah.
Poor puppeteers. Puppeteers are very, very hard-working people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's mesmerising, and I can't ever not be in awe of this film. More so than Labyrinth, because Labyrinth is the next go around on it, and Labyrinth has David Bowie.
It's got a lot of live action
It has, yeah.
in Labyrinth.
Well, Dark Crystal's all live action, but it's got
people.
It's got people,
Yeah.
and there's an element of it that holds your hand a little, but at the same time, Labyrinth. The stakes in Labyrinth is if she doesn't rescue that baby, it's gonna turn into one of those scabby little Muppets.
Mm.
The creatures in Labyrinth, they're generally much softer.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit more playful. There's nothing as rank in Labyrinth as there is in Dark Crystal. I'm not saying there isn't rank things in Labyrinth, but nothing to the extent of Dark Crystal. Yeah. Would you recommend this film?
I would recommend it because I think that Jim Henson, he set out what he wanted to do and he told a dark story, and I think that kids do need those stories, especially in this day and age where not everything's sunshine and rainbows.
Do you think, does it not remind you a little bit, like it feels like it's part of the same mindset as Black Cauldron?
A little bit. One thing I noticed with this film was that you had a narrator telling you the backstory.
It did, yes.
Instead of going straight into it.
Yes.
And
I think you needed that narrator.
Yeah. So that was the same as the Black Cauldron.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah, yes.
So that's parallels. And then you've got the young adventurer goes off.
Yes, yeah. Follows the similar archetypes.
Finds a female version
of
him.
Yeah, if you like.
The little...
They've kind of, in Black Cauldron, they kind of do have the same face.
Yeah.
And they obviously do have the same... The Gelflings, what are they called?
Kira and...
Jen? Yeah, Kira and Jen have the same face as well. It's mainly the hair that sets them apart. Oh, and she's got wings. Girls have wings. Mm-hmm. She can't fly, though. She can only use them to float downward.
Mm-hmm. Slowest.
I assume she can't, because she never does actually fly.
No.
Maybe they fly in the series. Do you know what? I can't remember.
But what I quite liked about it is the...
Skeksis.
I'm never gonna get that word right. The Skeksis.
The Skankses.
Yeah, well, that's more appropriate. They take her and they do something to her and drain her.
They give her Ozempic.
Well, yeah. And when you next see her, she is a lot paler.
She looks ill.
Yeah. And so she's obviously had...
It's very sad looking.
Tortured kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was quite nice to have that.
But also the puppeteering as well. You know, she's puppeted to seem physically weakened.
Yeah.
I'd say, yep, well done. Well done. And this film was a flop.
Yeah, I suppose it was.
It was. This
Yeah.
film was a flop. And do you know, I think of big, dark fantasy films being quite prolific in the 1980s, but most of them weren't successful.
But they've achieved cult followings
They
since then.
have, but I don't know why. It always confuses me because I just think, well, people love those films, but no fucker actually watched them back in the day. I mean, I did though. I saw those films. I went not Dark Crystal because it came out the year I was born, so I'd have been struggling to have gone and seen that film when it first came out. I wonder if I saw this before I saw Labyrinth,
Maybe.
but I might have seen Labyrinth first. That is hard to say. I don't know. I do remember in the 1980s there was a Sesame Street movie about Big Bird trying to find his real family, and I loved that. I thought that was fantastic. That I loved that film. I think it's called Follow That Bird. Might not be called that, but I haven't seen it since I was a child. I don't know where it is to watch it.
Not on YouTube.
It might be. I'll have a look. I'll have a look because I really I adored that film. And like a Muppet movie, they did put like celebrity faces in it as well, just to because you know that's that whole thing, isn't it? Because you know Sesame Street has a celebrity guest. That's just the thing. That's always a thing they did. So yeah, I used to love that. I do worship at the altar of Jim Henson. I think the work he's created, and not just Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, but the Muppets and Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock, like what an absolute legend. What a wonderful gift to have given the world. And they're just puppets, but they've got so much personality. When Miss Piggy and Kermit split up,
Were you gutted?
well, it's not that I was gutted, but I was invested because it was to build up to there was a new series they did that was just called The Muppets, and it was kind of done like The Office, and I thought it was fucking brilliant, but it died on its arse. People hated it, but I thought it was really fucking good, and it was like I say, the whole them splitting up was building up to that series, and then what that was going to be about.
But wasn't his legacy does live on because his kids have taken some of his characters
Yeah,
and used them again.
yeah, but the problem is that his product is scattered. Disney owns the Muppets, but they don't own Sesame Street. And then Netflix obviously were able to make their own Dark Crystal series, so they must have some rights in some respects. But then of course, like as I say, fucking cancelled the fucking thing. So had the rights, didn't have the respect.
And what's the relationship to Farscape?
Yeah, so the Jim Henson Company created the aliens for Farscape. It's an all over the place series. That it's an American creation, shot in Australia, with an American lead actor. Or everyone else in it is either Australian, British, or New Zealander. It's British costume and makeup people. And then, obviously, the Jim Henson Company, as I say, making all the aliens. And in a Series 2 episode, they dust off the Skeksis to come and be aliens. They're not quite... They're not quite exactly like, but because little alterations, but they are undeniably the Skeksy
vulture
pup. Yeah, and I remember watching it back in the day and being like, oh, I mean, I knew it was Jim Henson, but I was like, they can't do this. Can they do this? Are they allowed to do this? What the fuck? But I liked it. But once again, I mean, Jim Henson was obviously dead by the time we got to Farscape, but you know his company lives on with that show as well, and I'm a huge fucking fan of Farscape. I thought it was like nothing else I'd ever seen, and me and the kids have watched a lot of Series 1 earlier this year. We've kind of got a bit derailed with it because of Twilight Zone and other things, but watching it again, I thought, yeah, there's not a lot like this. It's pleasantly mental and quite rude. And I think I was getting a bit sort of nervous with the kids, the amount of bare bottoms that were in it. But you know what? I'll tell you one truth.
Okay.
We've all got a bottom.
That's true.
Some better than others. Some big, some small. We've all got one. Everyone's got an arse. So seeing one, it's like, well, actually, that's the thing, isn't it? You never see your own arse.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, do you recommend The Dark Crystal?
I was really hoping you were going to say, do I recommend arses? I do. 100%. 100%. It's like a lot of old school Disney movies where you have to deal with a bit of death. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you should. But plus it doesn't spoon feed you. It's quite spiritual. There's elements of complicated narrative about it, and there's a lot of things that aren't explained, and nor should it be. And it's just getting kids. It would get kids thinking. It would get them analysing. It's a really, really good film for kids that want to think about and analyse what they're watching, and not just be told everything. Mm-hmm. And it seems like something that is discussion worthy, which we've done now.
Yeah.
Lovely. It's good, yeah. I think I've definitely watched it within the last 10 years, maybe 5 years. But it was good watching it again, because it was your pick, really, wasn't it? Because I was pitching a different film, which we will still do that other film. But I'm glad we went with it. And the girl wasn't that keen about the idea of it, and wanted the film I was suggesting. But then as soon as she saw the menu screen on the Blu-ray, she was like, oh, this does look good. And then throughout was just like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely.
Well, hopefully this is a stepping stone to one day watching Labyrinth.
They have seen Labyrinth when they were a lot younger, but I don't think they remember it.
I don't think they'll have registered it.
No, probably not. Actually, when we stick it on, it might be interesting that they might go, oh, I do remember bits of this. Oh, that looks familiar. Mm-hmm. So, yes. Dark Crystal, full on recommend.
Definitely.
Good.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.